Hello, good evening and welcome to our Tuesday night championship, the GTMC. We're here for round 6 at Monza. The GTMC is a manufacturers based championship. Oh, there I am, very loud. Oh dear, turn it down. That ruined my flow, bro. I don't know if I can go. No, Mo. So yes, the GTMC. Your players choose a manufacturer, and we have a sprint race for 15 minutes in the Group 4 version of that manufacturer, and then we have a 40-minute feature race in the Group 3s of the same manufacturer. So here we are at round 6 at Monza. They've had their qualifying. Let's have a look. Now I've confused you all. I've got a table I'll try and get to at some point, but we'll have a look at the grid and what we've got after, I think it was 10 minutes of qualifying here. And to me it looks like a Peugeot lockout at the front here, with little GG's on pole, with Matt Psycho in second place. In third, IR Graham in the Audi, and in fourth, Liam Anfield, also in the Audi. We usually see those Audis up the top there. And then in fifth, we see Homesick Alien in the Nissan. In sixth, Stigman standing in for Elevate, our old champion from last season, back again to grace us. In seventh, we have Alpha Nut in the Lexus. In eighth, Racer Brown in the Toyota, 86 for the Group 4s. Then in ninth we have a Gazman in the Nissan, and 10th Kale in the second BMW. Doesn't look like the BMWs like Monza too much. 11th Guesty in the Toyota, and in 12th we have Shadow Rider in the Merc. 13th Jim One Wise, and then 14th Noxie with Jam Huntington taking up 15th spot. Skyjacker's computer or PlayStation died right at the beginning of the race, so that is why he's not with us this evening. That's your grid, so let us get on with the 15-minute race. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. So we're watching little GG's sitting on the front of the grid here at Monza for round 6 of the GTMC. We're just waiting. Have I not pressed play? Sorry. We'll be waiting a long time because I hadn't pressed play. Here we go then. Waiting for the start. A 15-minute sprint race around Monza in the Group 4 cars. The Peugeots out qualifying the Audis, and the Nissan in 5th place. The Nissan is quick starting. The lights are green. They're off. Both BMWs and Nissans flying through there. You can see Homesick Alien's already up to 3rd position. Little GZ's holding him off though. Homesick Alien into 2nd now. They're all going into the first chicane. Will they make it? It's always a concern. Homesick now leading. Oh, Homesick's made a right mess of that. Little GG's coming through. There's Alphanut also. There's some bumping. Looks like we've lost. Oh, Matt Psycho off in the first chicane. Everyone else looking like they're getting through. Little GG's leading the race then from Stigman, last season's champion, back to stand in for Elevate. He's got IR Graham looking up the inside at the next chicane. Oh, it's tight. IR Graham's there, but Stigman's got the inside line, but IR Graham seems to be just ahead of Stigman, and Liam Anfield taking the opportunity to also get past the BMW, the might of the Audi TTs. And Stigman just looking to see if he can get a chance to get past. Gazman then up into 5th position. He's doing a great job there. Homesick dropped from virtually the front of the front of the pack right down into 6th position. Jam Huntington had an amazing start there. We saw him at the back of the grid. He's up into 7th position. Racer Brown in 8th. Guesty 9th, just behind his teammate. Matt Psycho we saw going off in the first chicane, down to 10th. Noxie is in 11th. Shadow Rider in 12th. Alphanut, Alphanut obviously come into some grief in that first chicane. Has two cars. If there was another car, it would have been a red flag, I am sure. Jim Wise in 14th, and Kale right down as well. So a few casualties from the first lap. There's little GG's completing the first lap. He's got himself a nice handsome lead on Liam Anfield, and Liam Anfield at the moment being absolutely hounded by his teammate IR Graham. These two, IR Graham is sitting, I'm not looking at the screen, I'm looking at a bit of paper, sorry. IR Graham is 9th in the championship on 145 points, whilst Liam Anfield is leading the championship in first on 227 points. There are drop scores to be considered, and IR Graham has missed a round or two, I think. No, just the one, sorry. He's missed one. So IR Graham following his teammate with Gazman up into 4th behind. Let me get back out of that. He was in 5th, so he's dropped. Gazman's moved ahead of Stigman. Stigman having a few issues with that BMW. He has just dropped straight into the middle of a championship, and judging by his teammate Kale being at the back, these BMWs do not behave that nicely here at Monza. So we're 3 minutes into this race. We're still on lap 2. Lots of things have changed from the starting grid. We lost Matt Psycho. Homesick Alien got himself right up there, but dropped back down into 6th position. But no, Homesick Alien looks like he's getting past the BMW there of Stigman. Stigman a bit of a sitting duck, it seems, down the straights. The Nissans, both Nissans blasting past him. But he's got the toe of Homesick Alien right now. So will he try to make a move? In the Parabolica. Ooh, so close, these guys. It's amazing. And he's looking up the inside at Homesick, trying to cut him off, but no. He gives him racing room. We'll nip out the car to see him side by side going down the start straight. Homesick still showing in 5th. They're not quite there, but can Stigman late break into the first chicane? Homesick a little further ahead, and I think Stigman has thought better of it and has just tucked up behind the Nissan. Meanwhile, little GG's done the fastest lap on the second lap with a 155.868. Little GG's, he moved ahead of Matt Psycho last week in the championship, up to 4th position on 182 points. He's only 4 points behind Kale, and we've seen Kale is right at the back when we last looked. We will look through the field again to see if he's made any headway. So little GG's, it's not terrible for him this race. This is really good. He's got the 2 Audis behind him. IR Graham's got ahead of Liam Anfields. I'll give a quick bounce back, twice, there you go, that's all, 20 seconds, and we can see there IR Graham, Liam Anfield making a mistake in the second chicane, it seems, and IR Graham there to pick up the pieces to chase down little GG's for the remaining 10 minutes left of the race. Liam Anfield then dropped down to 3rd. Gazman hanging it right out there. He's got his teammate, but his teammate cannot shake off that Stigman. Welcome back, Stigman, to the Virtual Racers Club. We've missed you. So Stigman chasing down Homesick Alien. He will score points for the manufacturer BMW along with Kel, but obviously he won't elevate any points, just to be clear on the rules of reserve drivers. It seems quite obvious, I know. But at the moment, Stigman harassing Homesick Alien. Will not give him any kind of break whatsoever. Matt Psycho making his way through the field. He's up 7th, ahead of Jam Huntington, who's got Racer Brown very close. We should look down here. Guesty under pressure from Shadow Rider, and I noticed in the table that Guesty moved ahead of Shadow Rider last week in the table, up to 12th, taking Shadow's 12th, and Shadow Rider dropping down to 13th. Whoa, Guesty going wild around the outside of the Parabolica. He's playing Tokyo Drift, not GT Sport. That's unbelievable. So Shadow Rider there on the track seat, moving ahead of Guesty. Guesty's on 83 points in 12th in the championship, and Shadow Rider's 13th with 74 points. So 9 points between them. They're both got everything to play for, fighting for this 10th position. Oh no, looks like Shadow Rider. I can't do. I'll go back a quick one. Don't know what happened there. Oh, Shadow Rider just outbraked himself. There you go. Oh, lovely, lovely shot there of a Monza. But we'll get back to the track. So there we see Guesty just ahead of Jim One Wise in 11th. That's not bad for Jim One Wise. Shadow Rider down to 12th now. Kale at 13th, ahead of Alphanut. And Noxie is in 15th. That Ford truly is a monster to try and drive. It's not been fun for Noxie or Jam Huntington this season. Up ahead then, Little GG's just on the fastest lap on lap 3, a 1:55.681. IR Graham's managing a 56.2. So, ooh, get rid of that bottom bit, sorry. So, Little GG's got a really good advantage over the Audis with speed here at Monza, but I do believe it wears its tyres down a lot quicker than the Audis, so come the end of the 15 minutes, I think those two Audis will be setting upon the Peugeot. Gazman, so Sikalian looks like he's got a little bit closer to his teammates, with Stigman just ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho doing a 55.9 on his last lap. Stigman managing 57s at the moment in the BMW. That BMW is woeful, isn't it? I don't mean to put a nice looking car down, but man alive, it's got no speed here at Monza. Racer Brown in 8th, good points, seems to be quite clear of any of the cars, just keeping his head down, cracking on. Oh, Stigman, Matt Psycho's making a move on Stigman. They're in the first chicane. It's a shocking place to try and make a move, but they've shared paint, but they're both side by side coming out of it. Amazing racing, absolutely amazing. The Peugeot's power trying to thrust it past the BMW. BMW staying, keeping its nose in there, not making it easy for Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho now taking the racing line into the second chicane. It looked like the two Nissans really close. Oh no, Matt Psycho, he spins around. I don't know, I don't think Stigman had anything to do with that. We're on board. No, that was all Matt Psycho then, I'm afraid. And Stigman moving back into the 6th spot that he had, but just up in front there we can see Gazman has dropped behind Homesick. How did we miss that? That was, ooh, a little tap from Homesick on Gazman, was it? Gazman moving over to let his teammate through. Doesn't want to hold him up maybe. Great teamwork there from the two Nissans. Homesick Alien is 2nd in the championship on 199 points, with Liam Anfield being the leader on 227 points, and in 3rd Kale on 186 points. So yes, Homesick Alien needs all the points he can get, so I understand Gazman being down in 10th on 121 points, allowing his teammate through. Awesome racing there from the Nissans. So Lil GG still smashing in those 55s, consistent as hell in the Peugeot Jedi Racing team. IR Graham, he's knocking it down into the 56ers, but he hasn't got the pace that Peugeot's got. And there we see also Liam in the 56ers, nothing between the two Audis. And we can see Gazman getting a tow off his teammate, lifting through the Parabolica. Once his teammates get a crack on. Oh, I think we saw Stigman. Oh no, I thought Stigman was going wide there in the Parabolica, but he's not, he's still there. Racer Brown managed to get ahead of Matt Psycho when Matt Psycho had his small off. Excuse me, in the second chicane. So Matt Psycho in 8th, not great for his championship. He's already dropped down into 5th after last week's race, letting his teammate get ahead of him. And Racer Brown is on 165 points, so he's only, ooh, I don't know, what's that, 12, 13 points behind Matt Psycho, so finishing ahead of him is going to be great for Racer Brown. Little GG's, those tyres, the tips are extremely red now on the fronts. Usually find it starts losing a lot of grip front end of that Peugeot with its tyre wear. IR Graham, they're virtually doing the same lap times now. 56.5 for little GG's, 56.3 for Ion Graham, so he is starting to pull him in. But has little GG's pulled out enough? We're 11 minutes through this race, and there is a Liam Anfield a little further back, did a 58 on his last lap. Homesick Alien managing to pull away from his teammate now on a 58.074. Gazman 58.3 on his last lap. The Nissan's going great guns here in Monza. They look great together on track. Car 77 and car 89, 4th and 5th here at Monza for the sprint race of the GTMC round 6. Then Stigman standing in for Elevate, doing a fine job in a BMW that seems to be a little bit down on power in the straights. Racer Brown now still trying to stay ahead of Matt Psycho, but we know that Peugeot has got some extreme straight line speed, but his tyres must be starting to feel a bit old and crabby. Jam Huntington, we can see behind us, up into 9th place. That would be great for his championship. He's at the back of the field. Here we see now Matt Psycho aligning Racer Brown up. The Toyota underpowered, but is managing just to stay alongside the Peugeot and make it difficult for Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho not getting it all his own way. He's going to have to actually outmaneuver this Toyota, it seems. Racer Brown not giving any quarter. He wants that position, and there you go. Pure grunt, I would say. That's looking closer. Little GG's and IR Graham. Little GG's a 56.5 on his last lap. The red front left looking at a very, very tired. And oh my gosh, there's barely any tyre wear on that Audi. 56.5 on his last time. So little GG's, they're about the same. There's only 2 minutes left of this race. I think little GG's may have done enough here to manage, unless those tyres really fall off, which they could do. We'll keep an eye. Oh my gosh, here we see Homesick Alien has really caught up with Liam Anfield. Liam Anfield not having too good a couple of laps, these last few laps. Liam Anfield moving from one way to the other to try and break the toe of the Nissan. The Nissan at the end of the straights, he's there. He's still got grip on his tyres. Going around the parabolica, but the Audi seems to be able to pull away mid-corner. Coming out of the corner, the Audi has definitely got a little bit on the Nissan there. Now the Nissan in the tow, going down towards the first chicane. Liam again trying to break the toe, trying to protect his inside line. Homesick going for the long way round, but tucking in, thinking better of it, but still there's harassing him in the corner, haranguing him, trying anything he can to get by. Homesick Alien on Liam Anfield. This is the championship leader and the second place championship person in a battle here right now, with only 30 seconds left of this race. Up ahead, little GG's seems nice and clear. There's IR Graham. Liam Anfield are really under some pressure from Homesick Alien. This is surely their last lap. Homesick Alien looking for anything, any way to get past Liam Anfield. Homesick Alien really taking a bit of barrier there. Liam Anfield looking slow. Oh my god, it's crazy. Liam Anfield struggling with something on that car, and Homesick Alien trying anything he can to get by. Gazman has caught him right up now. If Liam Anfield's not careful, if he makes a mistake, he'll lose 2 places. Got to nip round. Little GG's looks like he's just coming across the finish line. No, he's not. Someone crossed the finish line. No, it must have been last place. So Liam Anfield, we've got to watch it, I'm afraid. We see Tunis. Oh, Homesick Alien's lost the back end. Homesick Alien's lost the back end. Gazman's got by. Liam Anfield will be sighing a sigh of relief. Phew, he'll be thinking. Gazman Can Gazman do anything? He's a little too far back. Little GG's, we see, crossing the line. Congratulations, Little GG's. Great for your championship. There's IR Graham crossing in second. The next Audi coming across the line in third position. Nissan Gazman lead. Nissan, sorry, fourth. Homesick Alien in fifth. Oh my, tried everything he could. Stigman in sixth, great finish. Matt Psycho seventh, trying to do some damage repair, damage limitation. Racer Brown there in eighth. Jam Huntington coming around. That's a great finish for Jam Huntington. Ninth with his woes at this championship. 10th for Alphanut. He came back near the end there. 11th. Ooh. 11th, 12th for 11th Shadow Rider, 12th Kale. I've got to try and pause it, you see. I'm going to pause it there. I am. Where's he? He's just coming up to the line. So I lost it a little bit back there, so let me go back. 11th was Shadow Rider behind Alphanut, who finished in 10th. Kale finished in 12th. Bit of a miserable race for him, it seems. Guesty back in 13th behind Kale. Jim on Wise in 14th. Aston Martin just does not like anywhere, it seems. And Noxie really not enjoying the Mustang. It doesn't seem like it goes well in a straight line as well as if it doesn't go round corners. So, congratulations to Little GG's. Is that his? No, it's not his first win. He's had a win. He's definitely had a win this season. So Little GG's, sorry, I'm looking at my bit of paper to write him in. Yes, he won the feature race at round 3, Big Willow. But that has been his only win, so that's his second win this championship. Congratulations, Little GG's, awesome stuff. IR Graham coming in at second place. He's also got 2 wins. Then third for Liam Anfields. It's like bingo, I'm calling out bingo. Third. Fourth, Gazman, that's great. It's not his highest finish, he's equalled his highest finish. He's had a fourth before, also at round 2, St. Croix. Homesick, fifth. Could have got on the podium, it looked like. He was really there for a shout. He got a podium, third last time out at the feature, and he got a second in the feature at Coyote at round 4 also. Sixth, Stigman standing in for Elevate. Matt Psycho finishing in 7th. Sorry, this is boring, I'm writing them down just so I know for the next race. 8th is Racer Brown. You know all this because I've gone through it all. This is so bad, I'm so sorry. 9th is Jam Huntington. 10th, Alphanut. 11th, Shadow Rider. Where's Shadow Rider? Oh, I found you. 11th. 12th for Kale. That's going to really hurt Kale's championship. 13th for Guesty. 14th for Jim One Wise. And 15th for Noxie. There you go. I'll carry on and press play. So then we'll go straight into the next race. Cheerio, guys. So now we're building up for... That's not right. That's right. The 40-minute feature race. I haven't tested this, so I hope it works. We'll load that up. While we're loading that up, we'll just have a little chill bill. I can try and give you, the table have changed now because they've had a race, but before that race, Liam Anfield was first in the championship with 227 points. In second place, Homesick Alien on 199 points. Third, Kale on 186 points. Little GG's is fourth on 182 points. In fifth, Matt Psycho, 178 points. Sixth, Racer Brown on 165 points. Seventh, Elevate on 155 points. In eighth, Alphanut on 150 points. In ninth, IR Graham on 145 points. In 10th, Gazman on 121 points. In 11th, Skyjacker on 88 points. In 12th, Guesty on 83 points. In 13th, Shadow Rider on 74 points. In 14th, Noxie on 66 points, and then 15th, Jim on Wise on 59 points, and in 16th, Jam Huntington on 59 points. But already with that race, we saw Jam Huntington finishing in 9th. Oh, and between races, that's alright, it hasn't loaded anywhere, it's not going nowhere. Go and put the kettle on, go make yourself a cuppa. But in between races, there is a random draw. It pulls out a number and the grid is reversed from there. The random draw was a number 11, so that means that Shadow Rider will be starting on pole, and 12th place will be 12th place, which is Kale. Oh, poor Kale. Not even the random thing's done him a favour. So yeah, Shadow Rider on pole, and who finished in 10th? Alpha Nut second, with Jam Huntington in 3rd. Hang on, seeing how far I can go. 4th will be Racer Brown. Interesting grid. Be an interesting grid. Oh yeah, it's not Red Bull, I promise you, but it is caffeine based. 94%, 95%, 96%. We're nearly there. 98%. Hold on to your seatbelts. 40 minutes of pure racing from Group 3 cars. Oh God, I thought something went wrong there. And we will see what we have. We're here at Monza for round 6 of the GTMC. We've just had the sprint race in the Group 4 cars. Now the guys jumping in the Group 3 cars. We're shuffling the grid around, and we're going to have ourselves a nice 40-minute race. They have to have a pit stop, and they have to use 2 different compounds, using the second compound for at least 3 laps. So we'll have a look at what compound each guys are on. There you go. I said Shadow Rider on pole, Alpha second, Jam, Racer Brown, Matt Psycho, Stigman. So Matt Psycho might be sitting quite pretty right now. We'll sit looking at Shadow Rider, waiting for the lights to turn green. They're going red now, and it's green. Come on, race on. So Shadow Rider making a quick getaway from Alpha Knight in second. My word, these cars are beasts. Jam trying to have a look at the guys in front. It's a whole malaise there in the back. Can they make it through? Safe and sound. There's going to be tears already. I've seen a Peugeot out with a clash with the Lexus. Everyone else slowly trying to make their way through. It looks okay so far. So Matt Psycho again, it's cost him that first chicane. He will be spitting absolute expletives everywhere. Shadow Rider holding that lead though, with Liam Anfield already up into second place. He really gained from that malaise in the first chicane. Alpha Knight in second. Someone's off there, Shadow Rider. Oh no. So there we see Liam Anfield, championship leader, taking the lead, but Alpha Nut is on his tail. Whoa! It looks like Shadow Rider really struggling to get that Mercedes under control. Alpha Nut looking at the Audi LM car, and he's made the pass up the straight. The GR3, Lexus, really meaty in a straight line. Liam nipping at the heels of Alpha. Jam keeping hold of that 3rd place. The Mustang GR3, I think is nippy. I think he can go. Homesick Alien already up into 4th. He would have been quite far back. Stigman in 5th in his BMW. Sorry, BMW. I knew what it was. Little GG's in 6th. Gasman 7th. A whole host of cars here. Guesty in 8th. Shadow Rider 9th. There we have IR Graham trying to make his way through the field. Kale moving up into 11th. Noxie 12th. Jim On Wise is in 13th, ahead of Matt Psycho, but I don't know for how much longer, because Matt Psycho looking like he's going to make a move, but Jim On Wise looking like he's going to make a move on the Ford. It's going to be tight. There's 3 of them. I daren't look. 3, and Jim On Wise looks like he's alongside Matt Psycho. They've made it through. Noxie ahead of them. Oh, we've had an off. Shadow Rider and Guesty, is it? Oh, have they had contacts? Oh no, there we see. Oh no, it looks like it was the Nissan that spun Racer Brown around, Guesty around, sorry. Gasman, and he's waiting. Look, you can see he's waiting. There he is, waiting for Guesty. It was his fault. Oh, that's a shame for his race, Guesty's race, and Shadow Rider nipping past Guesty while he gets the chance. Well, I suppose Guesty's let Shadow Rider through because kind of his fault, but it wasn't his fault. Alpha Nut leading this race from Jam. Jam, where's Liam? Liam down to 4th. Did he make a mistake? Oh dear, it was a while ago. 3rd? No, they just seemed to... Yeah, it must have been into that chicane. No. Jam just fighting Liam for places. Into the chicane, a bit of bumping, a bit of grinding, a little bit of how's your mama. But there we see Jam pulling away and Liam losing a bit of oomph, and Homesick Alien nipping through his closest rival in the championship, moving ahead of him, and now Homesick looking for a way past the Ford, but Liam coming back at the Nissan. It looks like, no, not quite, it looks like Liam's got to struggle to keep little GG's behind, and Stigman. All three of them looking like they want some joy. Jam giving himself a couple of inches break from the Nissan Alien. Behind him, Alpha Nut out for a nice casual cruise in the Lexus. Got the family and the dog in the back. Spacious baby. And he's disappearing from the Fords, who is struggling to lose the Nissan, who is struggling to lose Liam at this point. Liam, though, he's got his own woes, having a Matt Psycho very close behind, going to go on board. Ooh, a simple in that puck. So here we see he's going for the inside line at Parabolica. Is he going to make it? No. Liam later on the brakes, but there's someone else going on there. Oh no, I thought there was some tapping. I thought Stigman was right there on little GG's tail, but there you see 2nd to 6th all in a row. It's a 40-minute race, remember. Looks like someone's paying a penalty there. IRG is up into 8th place. No, he's not. Kale's up into 7th place. Kale having an absolutely fabulous dose of a race. He's on fire. The man has got a stick up his butt and he's moving quickly for it. IR Graham then, we saw he was in 7th, but he's dropped down to 8th. Matt Psycho making his way through the field after his first lap, first chicane issues. Racer Brown in 10th. That Supra not quite got the top end for this track. Noxie in 11th, doing quite well in a Ford. And Guesty also suffering probably with the same horsepower issues. Gasman, we saw letting Guesty through. Shadow Rider's dropped behind these guys again, but he is ahead of Jim 1 Wise. Up in the front then we can see Alpha with the wife, two kids in the back, plenty of room for the dog as well. Going off to Bournemouth Beach for the day. But no, seriously. Oh, homesick. Little GG's. So, hang on. Liam, yeah, we saw Homesick getting past. Where has Jam Huntington gone? That's what I want to know. That's the question. That's who's missing in that group. He's there in 12th. You cheeky son of a gun. Something happened to you while I was not looking. There we see. Oh, there we do not want to see, but we're going to look. Oh, so Ford goes out wide, loses it, and then has to sit and wait. He's had a naughty telling off for returning to the racing line. So obviously he's had to wait for most of the field to go by. What a stinger! What a stinger! And there he is coming across Gasman. Gasman trying to get past. Jam obviously doesn't want to let anyone else through. That's enough, he says. He's gone from 2nd to... Yeah, he's gone from 2nd to 12th. 10 places. Oh, painful. And that puts Homesick Alien up into second place, with Little GG's very close behind. That Peugeot looking very, very lively. Shall we check some tyres out? I haven't looked. So we've got Alpha Nut on the super softs. We've got Homesick Aliens only on the softs. Little GG's, he's on the super softs and he's making a move. We can see Liam Anfield paying a penalty further back, so that drops him away from this battle. And Little GG's, yeah, he's hustled his Peugeot in front of the Nissan, and the Nissan opts to drop in behind. Ooh, the Nissan gets a little wiggle on, and that gives the BMW the opportunity to close in behind Homesick Alien. Stigman showing why he was the champion from last season, fighting off the likes of Matt Psycho, Liam Anfield, Kale, and now he's closing in on a podium position. He's like the Hulkenberg of VRC for us, just drops in as reserve, just asks what he's driving and cracks on. No issues. It's lovely. It looks like Homesick Alien has found his feet again and has pulled away, so let us have a look around the field. There we go, Alpha Nut. Just listening to his sat-nav now. In 150 yards, turn right. Turn right. Now. Once the corner has finished, continue on until you reach the right-hand turn, which then will go into a left-hand turn. So yeah, Alpha Nut got everything under control there. I'm not saying anything. Homesick Alien still ahead of Stigman, but he's uncomfortable with that BMW down the straights, because that BMW is a little bit faster than your Nissan. There you go, Stigman, eking it up into third place now. Homesick Alien dropping down to fourth, doing all he can, trying to get his maximum points he can get from this race. But he's coming back. There's Liam Anfield, we saw, paying a penalty, and now he has a Matt Psycho in his rear view mirror, and there's not much he can do about it. He's got Matt Psycho on the fastest lap of the race. He wants to get past that Audi holding him up. They're side by side. This is crazy. What sort of camera angle is that? But no, Liam Anfield pulling slightly ahead again. Matt Psycho looking for anything all the time. Racer Brown getting closer to these guys. Racer Brown saying, yeah, man, let's have some of this. So at the moment we're looking at the back of the Peugeot, the Jedi Racing team. He's trying to make a move up the inside of Ascari, and it looks like he has made it stick. Does he make it? Did he punch a hole for Racer Brown to find a way through? Racer Brown really in the toe of the Audi right now, heading towards the Parabolica. Has he got the gumph? Has he got the oomph? He's just gone up to fifth gear, 160, but oh, he's on the brakes, and that Audi can sit on its brakes a little later into the corner. Beautiful racing, guys. This is absolutely delicious, absolutely crazily delicious. This is Matt Psycho 5th, Liam Anfield 6th, Racer Brown 7th, all in the toe of each other. And what do we spot in the background? IR Graham's on his way. No pit stops yet. We know Homesick Alien is on the soft tyres. I keep forgetting to look. I will look. There is, it's all three of them. Racer Brown trying to get past Liam in the tight chicane. It's so difficult. I can't believe they're all electing to try and make a move in that chicane. It is ridiculous. There isn't enough room for one car, not alone two. And I've seen at one point in this race someone trying to fit 3 cars in there. It's just a madness, I tell you. Absolute crazy bonkers. Some people call me bonkers. So there, oh yeah, cheeky. Racer Brown just slinging it up the inside of Liam Anfield. Liam Anfield really struggling in that. Look, I should just look down at the keyboard and press the button instead of just tapping. He's on the soft tyres. Racer Brown on the super softs. Maybe that is a factor in it. We're 10 minutes in. Doesn't even look like Racer Brown struggling with any kind of tyre wear so far. Matt Psycho there in a 5th position, doing a great race really. To say he was out and about, we should look all the way down the field, keep nipping up the front to have a look what's going on. So Racer Brown, we saw just getting ahead of Liam Anfield. Hyle Graham sitting behind this fight, ever getting closer. Guesty then, the next, I said those Supras not enjoying Monza, but look, they really are. Oh, I think the Beamers have pitted. That's why everyone's looking a little higher up. Kale pitted and has put on soft tyres ahead of Noxie, who could have pitted, I suppose. They're quite new, those super softs looking. Gazman, but I don't know, I don't think this tyre wear has been that bad yet. Stigman in, Kale in. No, they're coming in now. So weren't they a lot higher up than that? So Stigman's in, and Kale down into 12th. The two Beamers pitting early. We know that is Eleanor's tactic. They like to pop in, get the pit stop out of the way, and get on with the race. But I'm not sure if that's going to work for them. They already seemed quite far down. I thought they'd worked their way up. They were behind Homesick, weren't they? Oh, I'm not going back. It'll be half a race, but something odd happened to the Beamers. It put them out of the running. Homesick Alien was up to 3rd. Didn't he get overtaken by... I'm losing track of this race, I'm sorry. So Matt Psycho is in 4th. Just ahead, look at this. 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. I.R. Graham has now caught these guys up. We're in the Audi of I.R. Graham. We can see after 12 minutes of racing, no pit stops yet, I believe, up at the front here. We can see all the way down to Racer Brown in 5th. No, sorry, Matt Psycho in 4th spot ahead of us. Ooh, that Audi sliding through Ascari. Got Suzuka's map in front of me. That helps, doesn't it? What am I going to do with that? I wonder if we did Suzuka earlier tonight. Oh, we can see those guys have pulled away a little bit from us, but I.R. Graham making his way through the corner. He's on the soft compound. Little GG's pitted. Little GG's has pitted. Interesting. Matt Psycho didn't elect to go in, so Little GG's in early. He was on the super soft tyres. Alpha still leading on those super softs. Homesick Alien moving up into 2nd. He's on soft tyres, so he should be able to go for a little bit yet. Super softs for Racer Brown is up into 3rd position. Do you know what? And I slagged those Supras off about 10 minutes ago, saying they don't seem to have the straight line speed, but he's staying ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho on the soft tyres though, whereas Racer Brown is on the super softs. There we see I.R. Graham. Where's Liam Anfield? Why is Liam Anfield down behind Guesty? Oh, I see. Going into what's that? The first chicane? Yeah, the first chicane, and he's lost a couple of positions there. Little GG's just pitting. He's put on super softs. He's ahead of Stigman, who pitted. Oh, so really, it's not terrible, is it? Because Little GG's in 2nd place has come out just ahead of Stigman, and Kale in 10th. There's Jam in 11th, just behind Kale. He needs some fuel in that Ford. Ford's a thirsty car, isn't it? There we see then Alphanauts. Let's put a bit of Radio 2 on now. Chilling out with Coldplay. Take you back to the start. Then Homesick Alien in 2nd place. I think he'd probably be more, I don't know, Black Sabbath maybe. Racer Brown. Techno's banging out of that Supra. I don't know. I'm just joking. So, but Racer Brown in 3rd. I am mightily impressed. He needs fuel. Homesick Alien does not need fuel. That Nissan can go, and so can the Lexus. and it's making those tyres last. He's done 48 across the board there, with the exception of a lap 4 where he did a 49, but all the rest of them 48s. Mama. Matt Psycho, loads of them pitting here. Matt Psycho has pitted the Peugeot. Racer Brown also. Now we can see the guys are starting to move ahead. Little GG's taking a 4th after his pit stops. Stigman looking for a way past. It's a different car from the Group 4 car, isn't it? This, I think that's an M6, isn't it? But yeah, it's totally different beast. It's got a lot more oomph, we like to say. Alpha Nut still not looking like a pit stop. There's Matt Psycho. He's come out in 6th. Racer Brown in 7th. They've split Kale. Kale's there looking for a way past Racer Brown. Racer Brown trying to get used to the new tyres. Racer Brown putting the soft tyres on, coming from the super softs. Kale just slipping ahead on the super soft tyres. So Racer Brown, he's got to stick with him because those super softs will wear. And Racer Brown really is staying with him. He's looking up the inside of the no, where are we? Oh, that's the second chicane. Sorry, now we're at the Lesmos. Let's have a look through the field, see how everyone is doodling. So Alpha Nut then leading the whole field, has done from virtually the beginning of the race. Where would he have started? Second on the grid. Followed Shadow Rider for half a lap or so. Shadow Rider looks like he lost it on the curb, and Alpha Nut inherited the lead, and he has not relinquished it ever since. And there's been so much happening behind him, although it does look like home scaling not overly far behind Alpha Nut. Ooh, a bit more fuel on the soft tyres, so he's got the super softs to do. So home scaling could be sitting in a very, very nice spot here. I.R. Graham kept his head down, cracked on, moved through the field. He's found himself in 3rd before his pit stop. He's also got the super softs to get done. Little GG's, he was in 2nd place following Alpha. He has put the super softs on. He's got the fastest lap of the race on in lap 5 with a 47.488. He's managed to drop Stigman. We saw Stigman right behind Little GG's, but now Little GG's managed to pull away a little bit. There's the other Peugeot chasing down Stigman, and not yeah, he's quite a way away. I don't know, a few seconds, but he's up. Kale has got past Racer Brown. I think we saw that though, didn't we? And Racer Brown dogging him though. Racer Brown not giving Kale a single second break, trying to pressure him, although it looks like he backed off a little there. Guesty is in 9th behind his teammate in the 2nd Toyota. He's on the soft tyres. He's got quite a bit of fuel. He's got Noxie following him, also pitted, put the soft tyres on. Noxie having a bit of a nicer race than usual. That Ford Group 3 must have a bit of straight line speed about it. I really do like their livery, the BP Ford livery. It's very cool. Then down in 11th we saw Gazman with his early woes, coming across Racer Brown and Guesty, having to pull over, letting them through. Alpha Nut has pitted. Homesick Alien staying out. His fuel is flashing though. So where is I.R. Graham? I.R. Graham staying out. Little GG's has pitted. That's who Alpha wants to get out ahead of, but he has not. Stigman then in 4th. Alpha's still standing still. He's proper topping up that car. Proper topping it up. Put the soft tyres on. Matt Psycho is just behind. Is he though? Yes, he is. So Alpha Nut from lead down to 5th position. 2 of the guys have pitted in front of him, but they probably will have to pit again. Whoa, whoa. Matt Psycho looking for it. Oh no! Oh no! That's not what Alpha Nut needs. This is crazy. Matt Psycho waiting. Oh, ruined. Oh, absolutely ruined. Where is Alpha Nut? He's dropped down to 10th position there. He still hasn't got back on the track. He's in 11th now. He's getting onto the track. Matt Psycho's still waiting in 10th. That's patience. Oh, these two had a coming together another race earlier in the season. This, and there you go. Alpha Nut going straight past Matt Psycho. Plays into the hands of Jam Huntington, does it not? Where's Jam? He's not far behind these guys. He's dragging Shadow Rider along with him. Jim Wise there. He's up on his own time with a 49.515. So, Homesick Alien, we assume, will be dropping into the pits now. That is virtually 20 minutes. Can he one-stop it? Can those Super Softs last for 20 minutes? That certainly does fall into the category of a one-stop. I imagine Alpha was going to look into a one-stop as well. He stopped a little bit earlier than a one-stop, but so IR Graham, he also hasn't pitted. He's in now. So now we're watching Little GG's taking the lead of the race. Stigman, has he got that second place? These cars have got to top up. They've got to sit. Kale coming round in 5th. Look at the BMWs coming good near the end. Racer Brown just behind. Little GG's. Oh, they're still in the pits. Homesick is moving, but is it? It's showing him in 3rd. There's Kale ahead of Racer Brown. In 3rd, Homesick Alien getting to the end of the pit lane. Whoa. There we see Homesick Alien managing to maintain that 3rd, but Little GG's. They may have to pit again. I don't think that's enough fuel. If 20 minutes was a full tank and there's 19 minutes left, then definitely Stigman and Little GG's have got to nip back into the pits to refuel. And there we see Homesick Alien managing to make his tank last 20 minutes. Kale in 4th. Oh, there's a bit of knocky between Racer Brown and Kale. Oh, looks like Kale's backed right off. Maybe he felt it was his fault, I don't know. Guesty then, 6th place in the Supra. He's just ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham's pit stop didn't go as well as Homesick's. Dropped quite far down the field. There we see Gazman coming through. Just ahead of Noxie. Noxie giving Gazman a little bit of aggro. Let me just wet the whistle there. We're 21 minutes into this race. 22 minutes. It hasn't felt like a hot minute. It really hasn't. It has flown by. Enjoyable race, that's why. So, oh, there we look. There is Alpha Nut. Matt Psycho just behind him, trying to catch him up. These two boys, you're going to have to be careful with each other when they're racing. I think Matt Psycho was letting Liam through. It might have been the last round, and Alpha bounced off him. Jam Huntington there in 12th, ahead of Shadow Rider. Who's Jam? He's fighting with Jim Wise, so he'll be happy that Shadow Rider is between him and Jim Wise, giving him more points. He was up there in, what was he, in 2nd place, Jam, holding it as well. Such a shame. Little GG's leading this race. He won the first race. Can he do the double? We've had a few do that, haven't we? We had Liam Anfield in round 1, won the feature and the sprints. Other than that though, no, I think he's the only guy who's managed to do the double. Can't see anyone else on my sheet having it. So Little GG's, Stigman, but we do think these two guys definitely going to have to bear. Homesick Alien, possibly not. I wouldn't want to say he's got a one-stop. I thought that last race, and he did nip in right near the end for a Splasho dash. So, Racer Brown in 4th. Who was he racing? Who was he lost? Racer Brown was racing. Oh yeah, we saw Kale sort of like they were a bit tapping in a chicane, and sort of Kale backed off. Kale, we think the BMWs are pretty much going to have to stop again. Racer Brown half a tank, I'm not sure. Homesick Alien really topped it up, and I believe IR Graham topped his one up as well to go all the way to the end. These guys, I think, if they haven't got 3/4 of a tank or more, I don't believe they're going to make it to the end without another pit stop. Alpha, ooh, he's just under 3/4 of a tank. I think he's hoping to. Matt Psycho, he hasn't got past him yet. Matt Psycho still behind him. He will have to pit again. It's not gone well for Matt Psycho. This championship slipping away from him. He already dropped down 1 position. He's on 178 points. He's 165 points as Racer Brown. And Racer Brown finished ahead of him, was it, in the first race. Racer Brown finished in 8th. And Matt Psycho, oh no, finished in 7th, just ahead of him. Whoa! Shadow Rider looking like he's going to make a move into the first chicane. On Jam Huntington, no, he's dropped back a little bit. But Jam's struggling to get through that chicane. That Ford does not like going round corners. Little GG's still leading. He's got the fastest lap on lap 13 with a 147.404, and he's going for another. He's got no fuel on board. He's definitely trying to get a bit of space on him and the Alien. There is quite a bit of space. Can they come in, top up and get out before Homesick Alien and Racer Brown? Racer Brown I think needs to pit. Kale I think needs to pit. I think Guesty's going to have to pit. The next person who probably doesn't have to pit is IR Graham. Noxie's going to have to pit. Gazman I think is going to have to pit. Alpha Nut, it's very tight if he's going to have to pit or not. Matt Psycho in 11th will have to pit. Jam Huntington is just ahead of Shadow Rider. I believe those two may have to pit. There we see Little GG's and Kale both coming in at the same time. So what can Homesick Alien do? He's in the Parabolica right now. We're coming back to Little GG, still topping up with fuel. There's Kale, Stigman, and Homesick Alien is showing he's ahead of him. There's Racer Brown, there's Guesty. They really are topping up. No, Little GG's back out in second, followed by Stigman right close. So Racer Brown slipped through, and so did Homesick Alien. Little GG's still just ahead of Stigman. Stigman though, trying to make hay while the sun shines. He knows that Peugeot can just pull away, so he's trying to harass him. Little GG's opted for the soft tyre. I think they both could choose. And Stigman on the super soft. We've only got roughly about 13 minutes left of this race, just over 13 minutes. They've put 3/4 of a tank in. So now I'm questioning, what did Little GG's put in? He put in a full tank. That was tight. So now I'm worried. Homesick Alien, that's surely enough, isn't it? It's got to be enough. Of 3 minutes left until we've got the 10 minutes. So he needs to still have half a tank at half in 30 minutes, after 30 minutes of racing. Racer Brown is going to have a splash and dash. Got Little GG's catching him up with Stigman just behind. Not giving it up, these two. Did Little GG's look like he made a mistake there? He's off the grass a little bit, but not enough to affect his overall time. And Stigman, the reigning champion, is looking for any way past Little GG's. Ooh, around the outside of the Parabolica. No way. Oh my word, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Around the outside in the Parabolica. That was some stunning stuff there. Little GG's trying to get back. You can see Homesick and Racer Brown just in front. No one's dropped into the pits. Noxie's dropped into the pits. Noxie, IR Graham then moving ahead. Alpha Nut also moving ahead. Matt Psycho's in the pits. Noxie's in the pits. Shadow Rider moving ahead, but I think he might have to pit. Kale. Oh, Kale has pitted, I think. Topped up, but on super softs. He's chasing down Alpha Nut, who was in 7th. With his earlier woes. IR Graham then in 6th. We don't think he has to stop. Guesty probably has to stop. Stigman still giving Little GG's. Oh no, Little GG's, he got past Little GG's, didn't he? Little GG's managed to get the Stigman back, or maybe not. No, because I think we saw that. So Stigman still trying to get past Little GG's. I know it's not right, it's Little SGGS, isn't it? But it's easier saying Little GG's. And there's... we did, didn't he? He took him around the outside of the Parabolica, so that must have been Little GG's taking him back in the first chicane. So will he do it again, or are we just going to watch what I've already watched? Is he going to try and... is Stigman going to go around the outside of him on the Parabolica? Did I go rewind for something and then get myself mixed up? It can happen, you know. So far, Little GG's has got the fastest lap with a 1:47.404. He got on lap 13. At the moment, he's under immense pressure from Stigman. I think Stigman can smell a race. He probably thinks Homesick and Racer Brown both have to pit. He probably thinks this is the race for first place between him and Little GG's. Because wasn't Homesick behind them at one point until he did the one stop? So a small penalty there for Stigman. That's going to be annoying for him. Hasn't come up as red. How weird's that? There you go. Well, I thought it showed up as red, so he's going to have to serve that. Racer Brown going into the pits like we thought he might have to. Stigman through, and Guesty also pitting in the other Supra. Isle Graham then coming through for 4th place. Can Alphanut? Oh, looks like Alphanut's popped into the pits. He did have to have a quick splash and dash. Can he get out ahead of the Toyotas? He has to put less fuel in than those. Shadow Rider in 7th for a splash. Gazman, he's already pitted. He's moving up into 8th place. Guesty coming out in 7th. Sakale moving up into 6th place after his pit stops. Racer Brown coming out of the pits in 5th. So he only really has lost a position to IR Graham. I think after all that, he's moved up, hasn't he? He was in 6th. Excuse me, I don't mean to sniff up. This is some awesome racing. There we see the BMW. Oh dear. Kale trying to make a move on Racer Brown. Oh dear. And Gazman, I don't know what happened to Gazman, but Gazman running wide in that corner. Having a good race, and now he's just having to come on behind Matt Psycho, all changing down the other end. Then we see up here Homesick Alien. Yes, 31 minutes, he's got half a tank of fuel. I think he can make it. I think he can get all the way to the end on a one stop, but Lil GG's, he's on the soft tyres. He's going to be faster at the end of the 10 minutes, isn't he? He's on fresher rubber, albeit the slower rubber. So Lil GG's chasing down Homesick Alien. He's not that far away. Keep an eye on that. Stigman dropped back from Little GG. Oh, we saw he had to pay a penalty. IR Graham. Great race. Just kept his head down. Kept out of all the trouble. One stop strategy, maybe. We don't know if they're going to pop in. Guesty up to 5th after his teammate getting taken out. Or we don't know. Having to come in together with Kale. So Guesty up into 5th position. Alphanut in 6th with his little splash and dash. He's done not too bad. It looked like he was all done after he had his coming together with Matt Psycho. So finishes 6th, not too shabby. Racer Brown 7th, still ahead of Kale. These are continuing their fight. Matt Psycho finding himself back into 9th position. Gazman, we saw he was in 8th. He had a bit of an off. It looks like he's lost a position to Matt Psycho. He would have gained a position on Kale and Racer Brown, I imagine, because he came across him around the same time. 11th, the lead Ford, Noxie. It's good points for that position. Where is Noxie in the table? He's 14th on 66 points, and Shadow Rider on 74 points. He's ahead of Shadow Rider, so that can only play well into his hands when it comes to the table. 11th position, I would be right pleased with that. Shadow Rider in 12th in the Merc, going good guns. He's ahead of Jam Huntington in the 2nd Ford, and Jim Wise in the Aston Martin. There, oh, Homesick Alien only just ahead of Little GG's. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Little GG's making the move before the first chicane. There's nothing Homesick can do. He can just sit and watch. Little GG's last lap at 47.415. Homesick Alien managed a 49.1. So Homesick Alien starting to ail on his tyres maybe. He's been doing 48s and 49s. That's just the speed of his car, I think. I don't think he can get much more than a 48.4 out of it. So he's had a great strategy really in a car. there's a couple of seconds slower than these guys, or a second slower. 47.4 is Little GG's fastest, which is a second faster than the Nissan. Stigman managing a 47.6. I.R. Graham there in the lead Audi. We've lost Liam. We'll have a look for Liam. I don't know where he's gone. He's done a 48.4 on lap 18. Guesty there in 5th, a 47.850. 6th, Alpha, they're all doing their fastest laps now, a 47.478. Racer Brown did his fastest lap on lap 15 with a 47.691. Kale, also on lap 13, did a 48.849. Matt Psycho's got the fastest lap of the race with a 47.277. He is chasing down a BMW. Oh no, Noxie! Noxie going really wide there, giving Gazman a run on him. Gazman up the straight. It's almost a gift. He's going. Ooh, I don't like this. Oh, dearie me. It looks like they've had a coming together. Noxie's ended up into the dirt. Doesn't look like Gazman's hanging about. So maybe Gazman doesn't think it was out to do with him. I don't know. Here we go. G. Looking for Paul. Guesty. Noxie, I mean. Noxie still ahead of his teammate. He's lost a couple of places from that. Gazman and Shadow Rider. Little GG's comfortably ahead of Homesick Alien. I want to also add, I never once said that Alpha Nut was going to win this race. I only said he was on a nice pleasant Sunday evening drive off to Bournemouth in his family car. I never once said that he had anything in the bag. I didn't say he'd got anything sort of, this is not a commentator curse. Him finishing down in, where is he? In 6th. That is not my fault. He's done the fastest lap of 47.248. He's got the bit between his teeth. Little GG's though. We saw they were great in the Group 4s. And Peugeots look like they are just as good in the Group 3s. Homesick Alien making a 1 pit stop work. He's got a quarter of a tank left. We're down to our last 3 minutes. So what, 2 laps left? There we see Stigman standing in for Elevate on the podium. Didn't he do that in the last race? Really is a stunning driver, is Stigman. No matter what machinery you give him, he gets something out of it. I.R. Graham there in a 4th. It's going faster and faster. Oh no, he's gone a bit slower this lap. I was going to say he's going faster and faster each lap. Guesty, that's a great place. What's Guesty's top finish? Let me have a quick look. Guesty. Do you know what? This could be Guesty's highest finish. I think before that he's had a 9th place at the sprint race at round 3. So Guesty putting in a great showing in the Toyota. After I declared it was down on power at the beginning of this race when they were both quite far back in the field, and Racer Brown would have been ahead of him, but him and Kale had a coming together. Alpha Not, there's Racer Brown. He's got Matt Psycho to worry about now, and Kale dropping behind them, and Gazman catching up Kale. So Kale's struggling with something in that car, and Matt Psycho trying to get past Racer Brown, going through the second chicane. Less than 2 minutes left of this 40-minute race. You can see one Peugeot there in 8th, fighting the Supra of Racer Brown, who is just trying to make up some ground from being 5th and dropping down to 8th. I've got to cut away, see how Little GG's is doing. Homesick Alien keeping him in sight. Homesick Alien did a 47.89, sorry, on that last lap. That's his fastest lap so far, 47.9. But Little GG's doing a 48.1. So at this point, Homesick Alien is a little bit faster, but I am rather concerned about the fuel on Homesick Alien. He's pushing, he wants the win. Everything seems cool and calm in Little GG's car. Maybe he's not pushing, he doesn't need to go off. It's down to Homesick to race him. Stigman has gone fastest of the whole race with a 47.186. That's put that to bed, I think. In fourth, IR Graham, toodling along just behind the leaders. Guesty in a great fifth spot. Where did Matt Psycho go? Matt Psycho was pressuring Guesty. Sorry, let me have a quick... We were watching them. I was going to come back. God, it happened ages ago. What's happened? I don't know. Oh no, I'm imagining things. Oh, it's Racer Brown, Matt Psycho. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. I think it was 4. No, it's Matt Psycho's pressuring bloody Racer Brown, not Guesty. What am I up on? So is this the move that Racer Brown has been dreading from Matt Psycho on along the straight into the first chicane? There's only 30 seconds left of this race now. Racer Brown not relinquishing. Oh, it's tight. No, Matt Psycho managed to pull in, but we've seen Matt Psycho come a cropper in that first chicane a couple of times this round, but he does a great job there to take 7th place off of Racer Brown. So they're going to be crossing the line pretty soon. We've got 10 seconds left of this race. Little GG's in Escari, but he looks like he's managed to pull back away from the Alien. The Alien was getting a little too close to call, I imagine. Some people crossing the line. So there we see Little GG's coming around Parabolica to take the win of the feature race. That is some awesome racing right there. Congratulations, Little GG's. I think that's your 2nd or 3rd win. Oh, 2 in a row as well. Homesick Alien in 2nd, Stigman in 3rd, IR Graham coming around to finish in 4th position. That's amazing stuff. Guesty, oh, well done Guesty, your top finish in GTMC this season, anyway, at least. And there you go, 5th. Excellent. That's fantastic. Alpha Nut probably wanted more from that. Could have had the win. Matt Psycho still racing Racer Brown. It's not all over and done with between these two, and it is now. Matt Psycho finishing 7th, Racer Brown in 8th, Kale crossing the line 9th, Gazman 10th, Shadow Rider coming around to finish in 11th, Noxie there in 12th, ahead of his teammate Jam Huntington, who is coming around to finish in 13th. Jim on Wise already finished. See, sorry, we missed Noxie crossing the line. I was going to go back, but I missed what button it was. And there we see Jam Huntington. He was in 2nd place earlier in this race. Got one of his fastest lap times near the end on lap 20 with a 47.6. I'm going to pause it right there because the line's just on the edge there. So there we see Little GG's taking the win to double win. And I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, I think Liam Anfield's done it, but he only did it at round 1 at the Nürburgring in his Audi. So this is the next person to take a double win out of the GTMC. Fantastic, Little GG. That's going to do wonders for your championship. Homesick Alien 2nd in the championship. Do you know what? I didn't notice Liam at all in that field. Did we lose him during the race? I don't know. I'll keep an eye out. I haven't got the foggiest when if we lost him, but I didn't notice him. But Homesick Alien finishing 2nd. That'll help his championship no end. Stigman, the stand-in, finishing 3rd. IR Graham in 4th. His good point scoring continues. Guesty in 5th, his highest finish so far in the GTMC. That is brilliant. 5th position. Then in 6th we have Alpha Nut. Like I said, Alpha Nut probably felt like today was a win. Should have been a win. Well, that's a crap picture. That's even worse. So it's blurry or distant. I imagine it. Oh, that wasn't it blurry. Can we do it again? There you go. So there's Alpha Nut. Yeah, I imagine he feels like a win was on the cards for him today. So that will be a bit bitter for him. In 7th, Matt Psycho, just grabbing that 7th from Racer Brown in the last few laps. Matt Psycho, 7th. So he got 7th in the sprint as well, so that's 2 7ths. His teammate got 2 1s and he got 2 7s. Racer Brown in 8th. And he got 2 8s. He finished 8th in the sprint. The round before he finished in 7th and 7th. But yeah, round 2 he got a podium with a 3rd. Racer Brown. Kale finishing in 9th. Not great for the Beamers today. Well, it was for Stigman finishing in 3rd, but the second Beamer not so hot. Gazman could have finished a bit higher. We saw him have that small mistake in the second chicane. He got 4th in the sprint and 10th in the feature race. Shadow Rider 11th. Same as what he got in the sprint race. Still sitting with his best position finishing 8th in the feature race at Kyoto Driving Park. 12th Noxie. Oh, he was a lot higher than that. Bless him. We saw him have a little issue, which is a real shame. But 12th, his best finishing is 10th. Jam Huntington in the other Ford in 13th. Oh, his race could have been totally different as well. He was up there. 13th in the end of the day. But he finished ahead of his closest competitor in the championship, Jim Wise. So small victories, and Jim Wise finishing 14th. I imagine he cannot wait to end this season and get away from that Aston Martin. Excuse me. Well, thank you if you watched. That was round 6 of the GTMC at Monza. Don't forget, for our big bonanzas at the weekend, we start with a Friday evening with the MTCC. On the Saturday evening we have the Mazdas, the Max 5 series, so please tune in for those. And then on Sunday evening we have our endurance race in the Group 1 cars. So yes, you are more than welcome to join us anytime we're live on the chat. And that's about it. I think that's everything. I haven't got anything more. I don't know where the next round of GTMC is. I can quickly check though. Seems fitting. Doesn't seem too hard. Too big a call to ask. Please tell us, where is the next GTMC? Where is round 7? Look at me, I'm all snotted up suddenly. Sorry, you didn't want to know that. That's my thinking noise. So the next round will be, give me 1 second. Oh bloody hell, the table only says round numbers, doesn't tell where you were. So let me go a little bit further up where I can see where it says round 7 is, it just says Tokyo, I think. It just says Tokyo, so Tokyo EOL. That makes no sense to me. Monza WC was round 6. Tokyo EOL, if that means anything to anyone. It's not grabbing me with anything. I don't know. Is that round the streets of Tokyo? It's got to be, hasn't it? I don't know which track that is though, EOL. But that is got to be worth tuning in for. So join us then. Oh, sorry, I've stayed on Jim on Wise. Should have gone back to the actual winner of both races. little GGs in the Jedi Racing team. That's going to do them a world of good in the manufacturers table and in the championship table. Thank you guys for watching. I was your broadcaster and a commentator, Rufus Leakin. Check me out next time I'm on. Bye. No, seriously, it's done. Go. Press the stop button. Press the stop button. You're waiting for me to finish, aren't you? So the other video just queues up, but don't. I don't want to do it. I want you to physically press stop. Okay?